become by becoming rich.
Take all your money, buy Bitcoin.
I say when we
You
sell.
wake up every morning and say GM.
Okay. Take 2. GM. Friday, 23rd of August. Daily levels. Hopefully this works. Last time I did a 20-minute video and it didn't fucking work. So, just all got stuck on the screen with Bitcoin ETFs. If you want to listen to those 20 minutes, I talk about a lot of good stuff. I'm not doing 20 minutes again. This one will be shorter. We'll cover the main points. We'll cover Bitcoin. Not much is happening. So, not a whole lot to talk about here. Compressing. We have an inside day, inside of an inside day. So, Bitcoin is building up energy. So, you can see on Wednesday, we spent all of Thursday inside of Wednesday's range. And so far on Friday, we've spent it inside of Thursday's range. So, it's building energy. Typically, a good setup for a breakout and squeeze higher. I think that the target for that would be this green zone and maybe up as high as 64 as an initial push. There's Powell speaking today, which might be the catalyst. Powell speaks at 2 UTC, 2 p.m. UTC. I will stream for that, if fucking possible. And I'll go it live. Probably do a long live stream today, as I was traveling yesterday. A lot of stuff to catch up on. Let's do a mega stream. We'll do Powell's press conference and we'll do Casual Friday all together. And what else? Yeah, I was looking at Farside. I was looking at Bitcoin ETFs. There wasn't too much to note there. ETH ETFs, they're low. Well, actually, outflows. And what else was I talking about? I'm trying to fucking remember now. Oh yeah, this actually I wasn't talking about on that one, but the buildup of Bitcoin open interest as it compresses. So we're building energy here. We're building energy before this move. And what that means is, if I showed here, Wednesday, we had price setting a high and low. We spent the last 2 days inside of that. And so, we have quite a big build-up of open interest since the open on Wednesday. And that has taken us from about there to here. So there's 5.2% build-up, so 875 million, almost $1 billion of fresh OI added. While since the open on that day, price is up 3%. So open interest outpacing price. And energy is building. That's the main thing. But also, all throughout this range, open interest has been rising and rising and rising and rising. Now, when you're going through these phases and looking at the potential for a bigger breakout, do you want to see people pre-positioning for it? That's the question you want to have. If we go back, is it going to let me go back far enough on the 1 hour chart? Nope. I'll have to go to a 4 hour chart, but that's fine. We'll see how it's looking over here. So the last time we saw something similar to this was in this phase here. There's 2 of them. There's this phase where Bitcoin spent a week or so inside a compression before breaking higher. But in that period, we didn't have open interest really increase. In fact, from there until the breakout, open interest was flat. So the build-up seemed to be more spot accumulation, especially given the move that happened following. And then over here, we had the same thing. We had another week-long, if not slightly longer than a week, build-up. And open interest in that phase was actually declining before we got this nice push higher. So what we have here is Bitcoin's price moving down and compressing across a sort of 2 week period. Yet open interest has been rising, especially since the lows there. But, even if you take it from here, it's up about 650 million. But from the lows after that first push here, it's up 2 billion, 13%. Quite a big build-up. Quite a big build-up of open interest in a range that really doesn't span more than about 10% overall. And I wouldn't say that it's like crazy, because what you're looking at is this build-up spot-based? Is this spot accumulation? Or is it anticipation from futures and people trying to get long and add leverage and trying to get positioned for what they perceive to be the next big move on Bitcoin? I'm very uncertain of that and cautious of that at the moment. And I think we're going to hit the highs. Right? That's the main thing. I do think we'll hit these highs. I think that's where the market wants to go. I think the question is, how does it react at that point? And you've got two ways of looking at this. We're still in that range of 58 to 62. And if we look at it here, until it loses, I would say until it loses the pivot, really, there's not a whole lot to be concerned about from the downside perspective. All of this consolidation is happening below the value area from our March to July range, right? So we're below all of that. I've talked about that many times, which is not a good sign. You're distributing a lot of volume below it. If price is not able to break back inside and hold, and you get below all of this, if we try to go up, keep it really simple, and then we fall back down, suddenly all of this build-up becomes fuel for a down move. That's the bearish case. Bullish case is that we break higher and hold. Really simple. And you don't want to see really anything other than just a break and hold. This is not a place you want to see a false breakout. This is not a place you want to see a sweep. If this build-up is legit, there should be a strong impulsive candle that does not pull back. And I would expect we should go up, we should push, and then the pullback that comes after comes down for a retest. It should actually have a significant push if we're going to go there. And if it does, that's a good one to follow. If there's a momentum breakout, absolutely. You'll be able to trail that and follow that on lower time frames. Do I think that people are underexposed to Bitcoin? Not really. Do I think people are underexposed to crypto? Not really. I think I talked about it on altcoin requests yesterday. There's a lot of there's a lot of people holding meme coins and just holding them down 90% and waiting for the market to go up again. I don't think that people are truly sidelined or have given up. Will people be long Bitcoin? This is the point, right? So this is the thing I see with the open interest. Yesterday I was talking about how a lot of my friends who are not full-time in crypto are now allocated to crypto again, right? They've been buying since late last year. They've been buying this year, like some of them buying since middle of last year. Anyone who was around last cycle and has a passing interest in crypto, has made money in crypto before, they're all owning it. Like everyone's back in. Everyone holds some crypto, pretty much. And the difference with that is they're not holding Bitcoin, right? And think about yourself. Like, how much Bitcoin are you holding? And then people like family, friends who are not as deep into crypto as you are, how much are they holding? And what are they holding? Most people aren't sitting with a stack of cash waiting to allocate at lower prices. They're pretty much in already. And that's where I see, if you're looking at like BTC, for example, when I look at Bitcoin in this context, I think that with Bitcoin, the open interest buildup, I think, is people who want to also catch Bitcoin on leverage because they don't have money, spot coins for BTC. They're already allocated into other things. And that's where I see this open interest buildup. It's not like crazy high buildup, but that's where I see this open interest buildup. I think it's just people trying to pre-position for a long on BTC. And I'm not convinced yet that this is a great opportunity or a great area to be getting long. Let me see now. I'm so paranoid about this fucking... We'll keep going. If this recording doesn't work, you're just going to have to listen to my voice and not even watch. So, yeah, I mean, just looking at purely price action perspective, Bitcoin is still below this point of control and value area low from before. If we break back inside and hold, great. If not, downside risks present. But in terms of this price action that we're going through here, is this a bullish... Here we go. Is this a bullish consolidation, accumulation? I don't know. I look at this and I think impulse move lower, and then a corrective bounce. When I see this, I see move down, pushes up, moves down, pushes up, drops off, pushes up, drops off, pushes up, drops off. That's not typically the way I want to see these gaps filled. That's pretty corrective to me. Because if Bitcoin turns around and goes like that, and goes lower, well then that would be exactly like you'd expect. It's just a gap fill. And it looks like, oh, definitely it should go higher. Like it should. But all of this so far is just that 1 hour or 4 hour order block from the breakdown. We've pushed into it. We keep sweeping out the stops, and it's pushing and pushing and pushing. But the longer it hangs around that resistance, the more positions that build, and the longs, the more fuel there is if they're wrong. And I think if Bitcoin breaks below that 60, you probably see quite a fast unwind to 58. And if it breaks below 58, that's where you see the move all the way down. And I think a lot of people are betting on the same thing. Oh, it must go a little bit higher. It must at least go this bit higher. Could. I think it will try. I think we'll have a breakout attempt. Question is, does it reject from there? So it's one of those areas where I think before there's actual confirmation, people are trying to pre-position. That would be my current view. And I think that opens up some risk, naturally. This is resistance. Right? This area is resistance. Bitcoin is actually not. And when you look at this, the way I see this, that wick from that 4 hour candle, all the way back on the 8th of August, hasn't even been able to be touched yet. So whatever selling happened there has provided resistance again, once, twice, 3 times. If this is a bullish setup, I think we should gap through it. It shouldn't do this, right? It shouldn't even pull back a little bit. If Bitcoin pushes right through and holds, I think that is good, and that can lead to an immediate continuation. If not, I'm still of the opinion that there's more downside potential here. The market should have room to run. There are certainly some decent, prospects looking forward. Trump's odds get higher and higher. Yesterday was the DNC, and the last few days, where Kamala Harris now officially has the Democrat nomination. And I think that could be like a peak of her popularity. We know the media has been gaslighting everyone and saying Kamala's amazing and all the polls are all great. Now that she's actually nominated and it's locked in, I think that if you're looking at when could be an actual top in her potential and her odds, it might be there. And of course, if Trump's odds increase and rise, that's a good sign for crypto because he's more pro-crypto. But yeah, overall, I think today is going to be informative. I'm going to go live. We'll watch Powell's press conference. We'll look at what's going to happen next with this market and the open interest build-up and all of that. It's not an area to be getting short. It's too easy. If you get short here, it's too easy to just get even stopped out there. It's too easy for it to touch off these highs. And I just don't think that longing into resistance is a good idea. Because what you're looking at here is very similar to some of these previous consolidations, like here and like we had back before when we had this one and this one. Okay. Now, if this is going to be any of those, they all have something in common. When it's actually bullish, they have a breakout that holds. Breakout, and it moves away. I would much rather ride the trend. Breakout, and it moves away. Breakout, and it moves away. You understand? So why is there so much desire and need to be getting long here when if it's a genuine breakout, then you just follow it? That would be my view. And I think when it hangs around and hangs around and hangs around, it looks great, it looks great, it looks great, and it looks better and stronger and stronger and stronger. I've just seen it many times before. I just know that longs are going to build up here. I don't know that it's going to go down. I do know that people who just think this isn't going to pull back, it's that exact feeling. It's this isn't going to pull back. Then what happens when it reaches the next high? And everyone's long. You can have a fast flush. And maybe it builds up from there. Maybe that's the time. We'll see. We'll see. Now, I'm going to end it here because I don't even know if this fucking thing's saving. And I will go live at 2 p.m. UTC. We'll listen to Powell's press conference. And we'll do Casual Friday, GM.